ladies and gentlemen, every time I turn around, some asshole has got to do has got to try and move the Hunter Biden laptop bullshit down the field. Every fucking time. And they never do. Now, Eric Metaxas, whatever, Eric Metaxas, who, by the way, I'm just saying, if I may, has, I guess, his own spot at Mar-a-Lago. Look at the size of this desk and this bullshit. He's got half the subscribers I do. What is happening? Where do I rent this facility? What in the world? I mean, obviously, I think he has a radio show on fucking Flashpoint's channels, so that's who's paying for it. Because I think this is at the neo-evangelical gathering spot that they have. This is in New York. They have this studio there that they use. And the title of this is Hunter Biden's Chilling Texts. By the way, texts are on phones, not traditionally on laptops. So clearly this is, what they want is the alleged idea that they're hacked phone texts that are on, he saved them on his hard drive. How many, I have iMessage stuff on there, but those aren't texts, but whatever. Mayor Rudy Giuliani on the Eric Metaxas radio show. And it says, Giuliani visits the show, the studio to share this is not a studio. You're inside a fucking, it looks like the base of an award you give to best youth pastor right before he's busted for diddling camp goers. All right. One of which constitutes the smoking gun in what should be a RICO, Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act investigation. Well, I got news for you, fucko. Even if it was, you can't use it. Chain of evidence. Any first-tier law student would get it thrown out, largely because somebody had the brilliant idea to let this motherfucker carry it around for a year, or 2, or 3, or whatever. There's no way it amounts to a hell of beans. There's no way. And anything that comes from it will be fruit of the poison tree. Any judge will throw it out. Like, just baseline. Now, it's gibberish, so we don't have to worry about that. But I just love pointing out that fact, like these assholes don't know. Right.
You have done a dive into the Hunter Biden laptop stuff, and you have some text.
First of all, who the fuck is walking in front of the camera? What the fuck? Excuse me? There's a show going on. Did Anonymous just walk in? And also, he hasn't done a deep dive. Unless he shows us something today we've never seen before. There are gigabytes of data. All of it incriminating beyond belief. It's an obvious RICO criminal. There's something that's all... There's no way it's not. It's every single email is a smoking gun. So some of it has to be just, he's definitely going to bring something fresh. It's been 2 fucking years. Maybe he's going to do it.
Have done a dive into the Hunter Biden laptop stuff, and you have some text. You were sharing this with me yesterday.
Yeah,
and it's hard.
I want to show you. It's one thing to say it.
To process.
It's another thing.
Yes, it is hard to process. Maybe because bullshit wreaks havoc on your digestive tract.
Yeah, you're
right. It's another
right.
thing to see it. So
it's another thing to see it. Yes, I would love to see it. Give me a copy of the fucking hard drive. I would love to see it. And if this motherfucker has printouts,
the post revealed pretty much everything. But what I'm showing you...
What do you mean, pretty much everything? There's like 8 little texts. It was the bullshit about, like, whatever, calling him Pop, saying you have to give him half your money. I paid for this whole family for 30 years. What else? I suppose some argument about the stuff about his ex making shit up about him and trying to keep him away from the kids.
You now, they never put any emphasis on.
Oh, that's what it is. They put it in the article, but they didn't put any emphasis on it. What are they supposed to bold the text?
And no one ever put any emphasis on it. So
Also, I don't know why there's giant text on the bottom of this video. It must be standard operating procedure.
about 3 days ago.
The New York Post finally
Yeah. Put some emphasis on
put
it.
this stuff.
Put some emphasis on it. It's the same shit they've had.
This should have been back in October of 2020.
Right.
This should have been on the front page of every newspaper in America and in the
No, it shouldn't have, because it's unverified bullshit. And you don't just let somebody create political smoke and have it overwhelm the voters' view of the issues 3 weeks before a fucking election because you crafted some bullshit story about a bullshit hard drive that you've been adding files to and taking shit out of, and that everybody monkeyed with for 3 fucking years before it even got to the dude at the laptop repair place. We've gone through all this.
Because this is to me, and take my word for it, there are very few people who know RICO better than I do.
Yeah, I know. That's why Trump hired you to help him carry it out.
This is the core of a racketeering enterprise.
Bullshit.
This is what you need. You don't convict with this, but this is what you need to bring all the elements together.
If you use this shit, if he's talking about the hard drive, if you use this to bring all the elements together, all of the elements, even if all of them are real, will get thrown the fuck out.
When you have bribery, like I have a big chart that I should have brought with me.
Yeah, you should have brought it with you. A big chart. I'm convinced.
The Biden point man RICO case. Every time Obama appoints him as a point man. Iraq, he's supposed to get a status of forces agreement. Biden fails. As Gates said, he always fails.
No, he doesn't.
America loses.
By the way, your arm gestures are looking a lot like Houthis right now.
They get a third of a $1.5 billion housing contract for James Biden.
Did the houses get built? And by the way, he didn't keep that $1.5 billion. Did he do the job? I know he can get the job, but can he do the job?
They sent him to Ukraine. He's supposed to get them arms and beat the Russians, and he's supposed to help with corruption.
No, he's not supposed to get them arms and beat the Russians at that point. Yanukovych and then Poroshenko were the rulers of the country at the time. This is pre-Zelensky. Clocks move forward.
Never gives them a single offensive weapon.
Yes, because they were run by a Russian sock puppet, and those weapons, every time we gave them, ended up killing more Ukrainians.
And he adds to the corruption. He fails for the U.S. They make 8 to 14 million.
And also, they didn't fail for the U.S. The U.S. helped Ukraine stabilize post-Yanukovych. That's how Zelensky had a legit election. There is no Zelensky chosen by the Ukrainian people without the stabilizing efforts of the Obama administration. If Trump had been in place when that shit had gone down, there is no future where Zelensky gets elected.
They send him to China. He's supposed to get China to back off the Sakhalin Islands that they were militarizing. They go ahead and they pick other islands. In fact, the New York Times criticizes him for what a bad job he did negotiating.
Yes, as if there was another option. And as the vice president, we'll talk about that in a bit.
But it doesn't publish it. At the same time, his son went with him on that trip. And 10 days after the trip, and 10 days after we were sold out, the Biden family got a $1 billion commitment.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Rosemont Seneca got 1.5 to invest. They didn't get to keep it.
To the private equity fund that included Whitey Bulger's nephew.
Right, and again, why is it Whitey Bulger's nephew? Why don't you just name the fucking guy? Because you want everybody to think Whitey Bulger's a criminal, therefore his son, right, sins of the father.
This is like when the Corleones send Fredo to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
Now, suppose I could put
By the way, I'm sure that's the last Godfather reference we'll hear.
that evidence in and 20 more things. And then I could produce, I never had this clear statement of a RICO conspiracy.
Okay.
Oh, for fuck's sake. What does he bring? Surprise, here's a picture of a blow-up of a text from a hard drive that's a copy that was fucked. Get out of here. Read this, Jesus Christ. Why don't you just say, is this your card?
You put this in. That was hidden. That was hidden.
Okay, so now
Please be something new. Now, the Post finally covered this a couple days ago.
the Post finally covered this a couple days ago.
A couple of
right?
days ago, and it's now. And
And who, so who, this is an email from Hunter Biden.
Okay, it's an email. It's a text, actually. Because it's a big blue bubble from iMessage, I guess, is what we're talking about.
To what? His sister?
To his daughter.
His daughter. Okay.
On the theory that they're going to get more involved in the business.
Okay, and it says,
On the theory, show me that part.
this is Hunter Biden.
And this is Christmas Day, if I recall correctly, 2018.
I love all of you, but I don't receive any respect, and that's fine, I guess.
Okay.
This sounds like Fredo
This is the same shit.
Corleone. But I don't receive any respect, and that's fine, I guess. Works for you, apparently. I hope you all can do what I did and pay for everything for this entire family for 30 years. It's really hard, but don't worry. Unlike Pop, I won't make you give me half your salary.
So if you consider him a co-conspirator, this is an admission.
No, it isn't. It's actually just the fucking opposite. First of all, bagmen, which he loves to call Hunter the bagman for the Biden family. Bagmen, no, it's not their money. It's not even their fucking bag. You pick it up, you drop it off. Whether or not you end up, getting money in exchange for doing the job or any of that kind of stuff, is immaterial. It's just your fucking job. You pick something up and you drop it off. That's what a bagman does. He doesn't automatically get halvesies with the Godfather because he fucking carried a bag. So he uses that all the time. Secondarily, if Biden went over there and fucked the U.S. by giving the Chinese a couple of islands just so his son could get this billion-dollar job, why the fuck would Hunter be complaining? Think about that for a second. Why the fuck would he go, I've done everything for this family, if Biden brought him over to China, set this thing up as the fucking capo, and made it happen for him? Why the fuck would he even be bitching? Even if he's splitting it. He got $500 million in this stupid argument. For doing what? Riding over on a plane with his dad? What are you fucking talking about? The very fact that he bitches about the fact that he has to pay for stuff, and that he had some part in, that he says he has to pay for the family, means very well that he doesn't feel like he's getting anything in exchange for it. That it's his work. That he's not getting a benefit. Right? What was the movie where John Goodman was the bagman? You're thinking The Big Lebowski. Yeah. This isn't... Clearly Giuliani got the ringer. My dirty laundry, dude. The whites. Right? How in the fuck? What bagman questions the Godfather? What bagman says that I have to give half of what's in the bag to the boss? What guy who's engaged in a criminal enterprise where his father is giving him all these, like, setting up these magic deals for him as part of the family business, bitches that he has to give half, especially if you're talking a number like $1 billion. Get the fuck out of here. It actually undermines their entire point. Best scene ever. That's a hard one in there. I would, Philip Seymour Hoffman reacting to the dude touching the foot on the wall, the shoe print. That to me is one of the greatest moments in film. Don't touch that, please. All right, so here we go. Oh, this bullshit again. Hold on. Let me jump ahead.
And I said, "Is this check this one out and make sure it's valid?"
Okay, so
First
this
of all,
is on the
It isn't. Okay, so this is on the laptop. Why would it be on the laptop if it's a fucking text message?
Laptop. We all know it's real.
No, it isn't. No, we don't. Fuck you, it's not real. You've never seen it. Rudy's never seen it. Nobody's ever seen it. Two magic FBI guys who came and picked it up from McIsaac and said, if Hunter comes back for it, give us a call. We'll bring it back. Get the fuck, like the FBI does that. Shut the fuck up. Two Russian stooges putting together some sort of big, election hack would absolutely do that.
And you're saying, as a big-time prosecutor
who helped broom the Italian mob out of New York so the Chinese and the Russians could move in. Weird.
Rico. This is...
excuse me. It's Rico Suave.
Is the smoking gun.
And
that you're going to build a case around this.
You can't. A, it's a fucking piece of paper of a digital file that you don't even have the original on. B, this motherfucker is a political rival of the person that they would be going after, and therefore the judge would have to weigh that as part of the evidentiary hearing. The whole thing would be thrown out. And anything you learned from it, oh my God. The fact that they're like, we found this email and we think it leads to this, just by saying that as many times as they said in the press, even if they found other stuff other ways, would get it thrown out. Through the poison tree. It doesn't work.
Explains all the questions we've been asking.
No, it doesn't. It inverts all the questions you've been... What questions? You've been saying stuff. You've been making assertions.
Why would the most crooked man in Ukraine give him $8 to $14 million for Hunter Biden?
He didn't. Gave it to Rosemont Seneca to oversee his investment into Burisma, and it worked.
Well, he didn't. He did it for Joe Biden.
Well, then why would Hunter be complaining if he got this cush job that he just had to phone in and he wasn't doing any work and he didn't think it was his own? They were just like, look, we're giving this because your dad will do this favor for us and then we do a favor for you. And yeah.
Why would Joe Biden get his case dismissed?
But
get what case dismissed?
Don't worry. Unlike Pop, I won't make you give me half your salary.
Now, why is Pop entitled to half the salary?
This is...
Well, because apparently they have the most easygoing bagman arrangement in fucking history. Sorry, Crips. Sorry, Bloods. Sorry, Triad. Sorry, Mob. Sorry, Murder Incorporated. But the Biden family has figured out how you get to the top. You let your bagman, no matter what the shipment is, keep half.
This is amazing. We're going to be back with Mayor Giuliani. I know you're not going anywhere because you'd be crazy to go someplace. We'll be right.
Well, if you're watching this live, it's crazy.
Right here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Godfather 4, where we explore...
Hope it's better than 3.
But I don't receive any respect. It's not like they say, like I'm stupid.
Rodney Dangerfield,
I do things.
Remember Rodney Dangerfield?
Oh my God, he's doing lines from The Godfather, dum-dum. Remember Rodney Dangerfield.
Of course.
I never get any
I tell you, I
respect
don't get
around
no
here.
respect.
Is that how he did it? I never get any respect around here. It's almost like he's alive right in front of us.
Listen, this is like we would make it up. You have here...
I'd be accused of if I were doing a case, the defense lawyer would accuse me of having written this up.
You did. Well, somebody did for you. You're not that good. Yes, he's aware of this, by the way. This is a bit of a Freudian slip.
Well, right, because it's too perfect.
Yeah, 30.
No, it isn't. If it was too perfect, it would have been too perfect a long time ago. I guess you can have perfect bullshit depending on what plants you're trying
30 years.
to grow.
So for a RICO case, you need an extended time, 30 years. He gives you that. For a RICO case, you'd need business transactions that went on. Well, we got 12 of them.
Yeah, that apparently none of the money got to Biden, except to buy shutters for the lake house.
And then for a RICO case, you got to scratch your head and say, well, why would they have given the money? None of this money makes any sense unless it's for Joe and his influence.
Well, then why'd they do it when he was no longer fucking vice president and he wasn't even considering running?
Obviously.
And then
Obviously.
you see things that Joe did for that company, like save them in one case, or in the case of China, back off the Sakhalin Islands.
He didn't back off the Sakhalin Islands. Unless we were willing to put troops on those islands, they were going to move in on them.
How about recently, Biden took us out of the Bagram Air Force Base, 400 miles from China.
Yeah, I don't know why we wouldn't want to just leave our soldiers dicking around at Bagram in northern Afghanistan. It's almost as if when he said pull out of the country, he meant it.
That's a sin.
It's a sin. I didn't realize. I mean, it's so close to Easter too. And Joe calls himself a good Catholic.
Listen, this
400
is
miles. You would, if you didn't have one, you'd be begging for. If I were president of the United States at any time, and China decided to act militarily, I would curse the hell out of Biden for giving up that base 400 miles from China.
But
why? Oh, I know. Because if China decided to act militarily, the extent of their reach is about 500 miles past their border. They're not. That's why they're not a military superpower. And so, if we move our guys out of Bagram, Russia or China doesn't have any bases it can strike easily. Yeah, they wouldn't be able to kill our soldiers because they were moved to. I see.
Isn't it obvious? In other words, people with common sense, which is most Americans, okay, with common sense,
I feel seen.
They look at this and they say, this is so corrupt.
Yes, when I'm watching you two talking, that is one of the thoughts that occurs to me. This is so corrupt. I use other words for it and a lot of expletives, but sure.
Joe Biden made a deal with China. China would help him win the election.
Yeah, that's in there. I mean, who didn't look at that email he just wrote on that Hunter wrote on Christmas and doesn't come away with this?
But he would have to play ball and give them Afghanistan.
Yes, right. Have fun. Yes, China, you're welcome to Afghanistan. Knock yourself out. I hope it works out for you the way it worked out for us and for Russia and for every other empire on fucking Earth. Knock yourself out. Just Belt and Road the fuck out of that thing. And if any of the 12 tribes blow up any road, rail, or pipeline you put across the country, oops, sucks to be you. Also, enjoy Bagram. We put cement in the toilets before we left, so it's not. If you can't enjoy the upper deckers, I don't know what to tell you.
Because how do you explain what he did in Afghanistan? No one, to my mind, has been able to explain what happened in Afghanistan.
Well, Trump made a deal with the Taliban that excluded the Afghan military, set a date for withdrawal that would be beyond his current time in office to his next term when he couldn't get reelected because he knew, because everybody was telling him that no matter when we get out or how we get out, it was going to be ugly. There was going to be deaths. There was no way to avoid that part, and he decided, I'll punt it. And then he lied and said, I'm going to get us out. We're going to totally get out. We're totally getting out. And then after he lost, he's been like, well, I was going to keep Bagram and stay there. That's been part of the bullshit story ever since. And when Biden said we need to get out while he was in the Obama administration, he meant it. And when he got into office, he got us the fuck out. And we're not there anymore. We were in Afghanistan for 20 fucking years. We're not anymore. Good. Half that gear that we moved out of the country that's functional, that we brought back to some of our bases in Europe and stuff, some of that shit's going to Ukraine. Yay!
Well, it makes no human sense.
So
that's not his fault. That's because you have shit for brains.
So if you say he gave them Afghanistan, I'm not disagreeing with you. It's hard to prove that.
Right, because you'd have to, endeavor to engage with reality.
But it isn't hard to prove that he gave up an air base.
Sure it is. He never intended to stay there ever. And Trump didn't even say we were keeping Bagram the year before. That was never the intention.
Which had just been modernized.
Modernized.
400 miles from our biggest enemy in the world. And he got his phony head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff to say it wasn't a strategic location.
No, it's a great strategic location. if you're the Chinese and you want to be able to strike a U.S. military base to show you mean business. It's close. It's right there.
That is asinine. That is crazy.
Also, why the fuck do we need our dudes roasting in the fucking desert in Afghanistan? So what? So we could be in Xinjiang, which is a fucking desert? What are we going to strike from there? Uyghur concentration camps?
They should have thrown him off. If I were the chairman of the committee, I'd have thrown him out of the room for doing that. So you read the...
Well, that's why you were never elected to any office after you were mayor. Because your ideas are terrible and will get people killed.
And you say to yourself, okay, I got it. This is a bribery scheme. Hunter is the bag man.
All right, fuck you. There, he said it again. Bagmen don't get to keep the money. Ever. Fucking ever. There is never... What the fuck? Do a movie called The Bagman, and the plot is he gets to keep half. You'll never sell it. You jackass. Let's see. Excellent. Hold on 1 second. I'm for it. Noon. Whoops. Hold on. Doing some business. LA business. Lovely. These dumb sons of bitches. Ugh. Oh, yeah, and I got it. Anytime I do this stuff, it leaps. Hunter is the bag man.
30 grand to remodel the house. He does.
Hold on. Back up. Back the fuck up. Here you go. Hunter.
Bag man. They try to cover it up with, he can't give the money directly to daddy.
Right. So far, by the way, we're talking somewhere in the order of $1 billion. $1 billion.
So if they need 30 grand to remodel the house, he does that.
Okay, so that's 1 billion minus 30 grand. That's 999,970,000. Okay.
He pays for the tuition for his daughter.
Okay, that's another 50 grand.
His sister. What kid pays for the tuition of his sister?
What kid pays for the tuition of his sister? What are you talking about? And again, what's the tuition? $40,000? If he walked out of China with $1.5 billion like they keep talking, the fuck is this chump change argument about? What are you talking about? What is this? What kid pays? Yeah. Oh shit. I'm sorry. I didn't switch screens. My bad. It's my bad. Hold on. Back up. Not that you guys don't need to. You can hear this. So back up. Let's just listen to this bullshit again. May I? Fucking hell. This is a bribery scheme. Here we go.
This is a bribery scheme.
No, it isn't. By the way, thanks for the super chat. Thank you for the cheers. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Patreon.com/HalSparks. Support the show. This is what I'm building. I'm trying to... The Patreons will be why I will eventually... And look, I'm not even moved into the corner all the way. I will eventually be able to extend my arms in a broadcast. Currently, I cannot. I just vanish. Piece by piece. This is what we got to do. All right. Here we go. So, he's the bagman. Bagman. This is right? Bagman. The bagman, of course, if we know anybody who watches a gangster movie or any movie about drug deals or any of that stuff knows full well that the bagman gets to keep half the drugs and half the money. Right.
Hunter is the bagman. They try to cover it up with, he can't give the money directly to daddy.
Right. $1 billion. $1.5 billion, I think. $1.5 billion.
So if they need 30 grand to remodel the house,
30
he
grand.
does that. He pays for the tuition for his daughter, his sister. What kid pays?
My daughter, my sister, my sister, my daughter, and my sister, my laptop, my hard drive.
For the tuition of his
Well,
sister.
I was going to say, clearly they're using him to sign all
can
the
avoid
papers
taxes that way,
and
too.
to do it.
Yes. They're avoiding taxes on, so far to my count, $80,000.
Everything. It's like Judy Holliday and Broderick Crawford in that film with William Holden.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. What?
What is it? Well, you know, he just gets sign the papers here, sign the papers, because I don't want to be liable. So he's having his son do all this dirty
So then
work.
if I tried this case, I would say, I'd also call a witness who would testify that this is the typical way they do corruption in China. They do it through the family.
Well, apparently it was ineffective.
So when they want...
Also, no. How about this? I have a good witness you could call. Call Steve Bannon and have him testify about his dissident friend who takes him for rides on his yachts, who oddly enough is estranged from the Chinese government and yet manages to always get whatever they want done.
Want to get to you as the head of the party. They get your son and they give him a $2 million job. So this is a deliberate scheme that was the core of the bribery scheme and the RICO scheme.
Yes, where so far the bagman who has carried, to my count, I think it's closer to like $1.3 billion. So far, the head of the family, the godfather, has gotten, what, $85,000 in some shutters?
And off this, you could do about 12 transactions where the Bidens got money.
Yes, money for toilet paper and groceries. Money for trips on a train that he already has a frequent traveler card for.
Ranging from about 12,000 to 1.5
Okay,
billion.
so we're
Yeah, yeah. I mean, these were. Have you seen these fucking shutters?
folks. We'll see in a couple seconds. Don't go away.
That's it? That's the whole fucking thing. And it's the same goddamn text from 2 years ago. They've had this hard drive for 2 goddamn years. Just for the record, this is my new point of aggravation. Like, I'm sick of this shit. Bagmen don't get to keep the money. This is just a stupid argument. They bring this stupid thing up all the time. They're trying like, this time, you fucker. This time we gotcha. I gotcha this time, you son of a bitch, you. I gotcha. He got $1.5 billion from the Chinese, and he hid the money by paying for shutters on the lake house. Jesus Christ. Is this a repeat? The argument's a repeat. The show isn't. I'm live. I just can't believe this horse shit. Anyways.